Good afternoon, everybody. If you ever wanted to know what LULAC stands for, I think that Victoria is absolutely representative of that. Let's give her another round of applause. And I hope to the young people in this room that you can see yourself standing here before a room full of your peers and other adults and other children and youth 10 years from now, singing the same song, talking about how wonderful LULAC is and how it has helped to change your life and the community from which you come. So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. My job is really to introduce a company that has just recently partnered with LULAC and joins a list of very impressive telecommunications and cable companies across this country, including AT&T, Comcast, Cox Enterprises, Time Warner Cable, and Verizon. And I'd like to add to that list today, Charter Communications. They are one of my member companies, and they are doing fantastic work in the area of diversity and building communities one step at a time. They've got some great things to tell you, and I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Waldo Emerson. He is McMillan, I'm sorry, Waldo McMillan. He is with Charter Communications. He serves as Vice President for Legislative Affairs for the company and is chiefly responsible for advocating Charter's public policy initiatives on the Hill and at the White House. With that, I would like to introduce you to Waldo because we're all starving, really, let's be honest. So I'm going to ask Waldo to make it brief, and then we'll have two more speakers, and then we are going to get to lunch. So thank you, everybody. Welcome, Waldo.
How's everybody doing this afternoon? I'm going to take Nilda's direction seriously because I'm probably standing between you and your food. So I'm hungry too, and so I don't want to keep you long, but I thank her for that kind introduction. I thank the National Cable and Telecommunications Association for their partnership with us and the good work they do on behalf of our industry here in Washington, D.C. and throughout the country. It is an honor to be here to represent Charter Communications at this National Legislative Conference and to have an opportunity to help kick off an important conversation around technology. At Charter, we understand that in order to build our company, we must provide the best service available. And that's why since 2012, our CEO, Tom Rutledge, came to the company and he made a commitment, and that commitment was to close down all of our overseas call centers and bring those jobs back to the United States and bring them into the communities where we serve. And so since 2012, we have done just that. All of our call centers are US based, and many of our employees come from communities where you all come from. And so we're proud of that. We've added 7,000 jobs to the company since 2012, and we're looking to add even more as we look to grow our footprint, particularly with the announced and proposed acquisition of Time Warner Cable and Bright House Networks. Now, having said that, we understand that investing in the community and our next generation tech workforce begins with ensuring that our customers have access to a high-quality video service, but also that they have access to a superior and fast broadband connection. And so Charter has taken this challenge to heart, and on January 15th, after several months of collaborative discussions with a number of leading civil rights organizations, including LULAC, who were so ably represented by your executive director, your national executive director, Brent Wilkes, we announced in New York City with your president, Roger Rocha, a historic memorandum of understanding around diversity and inclusion. And joining LULAC at that event was the National Council of La Raza, the National Urban League, the National Action Network, Asian Americans Advancing Justice, and a number of other organizations. Our MOU outlines our commitment as a company to continue on and build upon the legacy that Time Warner Cable has built in the diversity and inclusion area. And it is also a promise that Charter will go further. New Charter will go further to boost diversity in the areas of corporate governance, employment, and workforce recruitment, procurement, programming, and philanthropic investments. And we are proud to have worked with all of those organizations, particularly with LULAC. LULAC was a leader in really pushing us to the limit on what we should be doing as a company in the communities that we serve. And so we thank Brent, we thank Roger for that. And I think you all should give them a round of applause, because without them, we wouldn't have been able to get to where we were able to get to. In addition to our commitments around diversity and inclusion, I also want to share with you a recent announcement we made around low-cost broadband. At Charter, we believe, like I said, in a very fast internet service. And so a few months ago, I believe it was in December of this year, we made an announcement that we were going to offer a low-cost broadband service to families with children on the reduced and free lunch program. But we were also, for the first time, within our company and within the combined companies of Charter, Time Warner Cable, and Bright House Networks, we were also going to extend that program and that offering to senior citizens who are on supplemental security income. And we want to make sure that those folks in those communities have access to a fast broadband connection at 30 megabits per second, which exceeds the federal standard. And we will be offering that at $14.99 per month. And so we're excited about that. We know that folks need a high-speed broadband connection in order to make it in our society today. So much is done online, students doing their homework, individuals getting government services, folks trying to get health care services. All that stuff goes online, and we know that in order for folks to successfully compete in a 21st century economy, they've got to have a high-speed broadband offering available to them. And so we're looking forward to doing that. We're going to take it throughout the entire new Charter footprint, which includes 41 states, and it will be in every community within our footprint, and it will roll out within 6 months after, hopefully, the close of our transaction. We know that around 50% of Latino households have access to high-speed broadband, and so that's a low adoption rate. And it's just not Latino households, but it's African-American households, and it's other households throughout this country, particularly in rural areas. And so we want to do our part as a company, to make this country better, and we're excited not only about this offering, but we're also excited about our diversity and inclusion program. We're excited about the investments we're making in customer service, and we're most excited about our new partnership with LULAC. And so again, I just want to thank you all for having us here today. Enjoy your food, enjoy your time here in DC, and if you ever want to learn more about Charter or about the work that I do here, please check us out on our website, charterresourcecenter.com, and you'll learn more about what we're doing in our communities to make life better for people who live there, but also to build a better country, because we know that our country is diverse and our company's got to be diverse, and we've got to offer products that everyone can use. So again, thank you for having us here today, and I look forward to enjoying the rest of the program with you. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you all so very much. It's an honor to be here. Thank you, President Rocha and National Executive Director Brent Wilkes. There are so many tremendous friends and partners in the room here this afternoon. And Comcast, NBCUniversal, and Telemundo is so proud to be a part of the EHAP program with others. It's not something we do alone. Nilda from NCTA, who you heard from earlier, my friend Celeste with AT&T, Celeste Carrasco. General Motors has been involved in this program, and it's really phenomenal because this is something that I am just so passionate about, closing the digital divide and helping all Americans have access to technology for education, health, and their jobs. Today I'm very proud to be able to take a moment and share a sneak peek of the next phase of our Internet Essentials digital literacy campaign with you all. Many of you know that our Comcast Internet Essentials has helped connect more than 2 million low-income Americans to the internet. And we do that working in schools with a national school lunch program to help students K through 12, be they in public, private, charter, or if they're schooled at home, to get access to the internet for $9.95 a month. It includes a full suite of digital literacy training, online or in person, oftentimes in LULAC tech centers or in LNESC programs. And we've done this so far, again, for 2 million Americans, more than 500,000 families, so many of them being Latino families in cities that really need broadband, need internet to improve their lives. So this video that we're going to show is a real tearjerker. I'll give you a warning right now, so take your tissues out. But it's a great story because of how a mom can really help, a mom who I can empathize with so much, getting your kid out the door to school, getting a job, continuing your education, how she's really able to make her life possible in the great city of Philadelphia, where Comcast is headquartered. So thank you all very much for being here. I'm so glad to share this with you, and we will continue our great partnership with LULAC going forward. And I'll see many of you tonight. Thank you.
I live in a small apartment with my son, Derek, and it's just me and him. As a single mother, my first job is care about Derek, and everything that I do is from him. I decided to move from Puerto Rico, and I look for opportunity to find my future. I want more because he needs more. When I moved to Philadelphia and this apartment, after 6 months, we need to connect with the world. I said, we need internet essential. There's no excuses to not get connected. In this city, I find opportunity to teach Spanish, thinking to do my master in education in Spanish. I don't have a time, a single mother. How can I go to the college with a boy at home? So I have to use the internet, and I'm planning to do my master online. I use the internet to keep him in a language, to keep in contact with family, and he has to know where he comes from, our traditions. We learn music from my country, we learning dance from my country, because that's the way to get connected with my family tradition. We are developed together and growing up together. It's grateful for me to feel I've raised my son in a good way. I love you, baby. I love you. Have a good night. Okay, bye.